bow, chicka bow now. All right, we're gonna build a padded war belt. I don't know what we're really even gonna call this. Padded belt, maybe. I've been building these suspender systems with a belt system, and I don't know if we're going to sell them by the pieces or sell them together as a kit. I think that viably guys would buy them separately as well as together. So we might sell a kit and then sell individual pieces also. But I'm just going to build one of these, make sure I've got my math right. I think I've built 7 or 8 of these. I think they're pretty good. I'm just sewing this tube here inside out, which is similar to how we do padded rifle sling. I don't know, we've got other things that we make in this similar manner here. I'm going to show you in just a minute. I didn't bring the, I've got too many pieces here. That's going to be a problem in a minute. I have a rod that I turn these with, and I would recommend that you get something similar. I don't know where this came from, this rod we have. I feel like it came out of a piece of furniture for some reason. I don't know why I have that in my head, but I'll be right back. I'll go get that. We're to the point where we need to turn this. It's been a minute since I've done these. Let's see if I can remember, like, by minute I mean like 1,000 minutes, maybe. All right, so first thing I'm gonna do is flip this a little bit. You will see guys, if you watch videos on this and stuff, and guys learning how to sew, they're like, how do I flip this? And I'm gonna show you a couple things that are gonna make this a lot easier for you. First of all, get something very rigid and stiff with a good round in it. Even if you had to bend this or have somebody make this for you, once that's there, I'm gonna do this. Just like that, and watch that thing. If you do a lot of these, you might wanna drill a hole in the table so that doesn't flip out, because it will split your lip open. I usually do it standing up, and I don't do it on a slick table like this. Okay, that is inside out now. We're going to take this piece of foam, and I'm docking the corners. I'm really docking the corners just because it looks better with the corners docked. Now, how do you get this piece of foam in here and have that totally tight? Now, when we sew this, it's going to compress and crush all together, which is going to mush the foam out and take up some of your tightness. But what you're going to find is that if you do it properly, and you will see a lot of these that are not necessarily tight, the tighter the better, but the tightness makes it very difficult to do. I'm going to pinch this, and there's different types of foam, and this is kind of rubbery. So when you go to put it in there, you're going to get a little ways in there, and you're going to be like, oh, I've got it. But once you get it in there a ways, it's going to stutter, and it's going to get very difficult to slide it. Stiffer foam goes easier. You could probably tape this with something so that it's slick also, might be of help to you. But now it has stopped. I cannot get it much further. Another set of hands might help you. I want this crease right in the middle. That's my seam in the center on the top. And the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want this piece you feel against your body, and I'm going to put pals on here. I'm going to put 2 rows of pals. It'll put this seam right in the middle where it doesn't matter. And I'm going to put my webbing on the top and the bottom, which gives you all of your pals. Now it has stopped sliding. It is not going any further. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it back inside out as far as I can go. Again, with the rod. Boy, it is dangerous doing this on this fucking table right here. I know dudes are like, I don't know what he's talking about. Well, that's because you've never knocked your fucking tooth out with one of these. I haven't either, but today won't be the day that I do. And I'm just basically socking this like pulling your sock off inside out for all you weirdos that wear long tube socks. Do you wear tube socks? No, because you're a fucking grown man.
I need longer fingers.
That's what she said.
It came out of nowhere to attack this.
It's because of your tattoo ink.
Yeah.
Retracted it because it smells like strawberry shortcake.
It smells like sweat.
It smells like fucking vape. It smells like baby doll farts. Fucks up with vaping. Vaping used to be like manly shit, right? Cigarette smoke. So they came up with vaping, and they're like, let's make it smell like it attracts little children. Fucking weirdos. All right. There we go, kind of. Maybe not. Okay. Now, after all that, this literally is a lot easier to do if you stand up and you're doing it at tabletop. Like I need this up here so I have leverage, and when I post it down here, it's too low. Now I have it exposed out here. I can grab this and pull this now about to the end. When you're pulling it and it stutters, be cognizant not to pull it too far out. I feel like I did this, it's been a couple weeks since I've done one of these. And I feel like I turned it inside out and then peeled it down over it. I think that's what I did last time.
Do one and it stutters and slips out the whole way.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. Be cognizant of when it stutters. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Now, this belt is going to be a 32-inch belt. And the reason that matters to you is how many columns of pallets you're going to have on there. This will be 32 inches, and the foam is 2 inches shorter than whatever size belt I want. So, and your foam will stretch. Even though we cut it at 30, it's going to come out closer to 32 because I've put it in here tight and I've pulled on it. Now, all I'm going to do now the foam was 2 inches shorter. I hemmed under less than a ½ inch on each. So this foam should be an inch inside, but as you see, it's over a half outside. So I've stretched it, and it's stretched over 2 inches now, which is not a problem because we're going to sew it all in place. It will stay right where it is. I'm going to try to get it a little bit. So, even though the foam was 2 inches shorter than what's needed to make this, walking it down, there we go. There we go. You can cut it off if you want to. Be cognizant too when you sew, if you sew from one end, it's going to again walk and stretch that foam. So, is my seam in or near the middle? Yes, it is. You can also get your seam to sit all flat on one side instead of sticking up both directions. There we go. And you can find, did I not bring that 36-inch ruler out here? We're going to use, you should get you one of these USB charging robot pencil sharpeners. Watch this. I don't know how we've ever lived without this. And you can make it so that it's sharper or duller. I don't like these real sharp marks because when I start doing them, they break the tip off and it eats your pencils up. If you're worried about the cost of pencils, you are not making enough per hour. It should cost you more to sharpen that than you're not even going to take into consideration the money it takes to waste those pencils. And if you are, you're not making enough money. So as you move from side to side, this thing will start shifting. Now, when I said it was 32 inches, I meant it's for a 32-inch waist, which is what I am. So we want to find center. This looks like it's probably closer to 36, 37. So 18 and a half, let's try that. 18 and a half, perfect. So you can go ahead, you could start your webbing in the center and then work your pals. And that'll kind of lock it in so you get stretched both directions equally. You could even put a tack in the middle, I guess, if you wanted to. I know you're going to want to run your pals from one direction to the other so that you don't waste that extra webbing and you have it rather than having cuts on the center, but just be cognizant. I'm just going to start with a little bit of extra here. And that'll keep it from shift. Because what will end up happening is you'll have this extra material and everything on one end, even though you thought you had 30 columns of pals, you end up with 31 or something, and you definitely don't want it setting your math off the center. You want equal number on each side. You feel me? Do I want to mark this or do I want to? I'm rolling. What did I say, 17 and a half?
I said
18 and a half, there we go, okay. You can build a gauge too. See how it just snapped that pencil? You can build a gauge too, get you something that's 1.5 inches wide, so you don't have to use your measurements. You can just set your gauge and mark off your gauge. They'll also, guys, sell templates that have these in your spacing, your MOLLE or PAL spacing built on the template, which takes your guesswork. A lot of times, there's times when I'll just be, usually when I'm talking to somebody, and I'll just be motoring on, and all of a sudden I'm off someplace by a 1/2 inch. It's usually your fault.
It's never my fault.
When you start doing this for real, you'll hire a hobbit or a squire or a caddy or something, and they will be your assistant. I would recommend a hot chick.
What about a hot hobbit?
Did you ever see any hot hobbits? Was there a hot hobbit?
I'll have to rewatch. I'll let you know.
Is that your porn genre?
Yeah.
I heard if you go to Universal Studios to the Harry Potter town, I heard they have an adult bookstore in there if you know where it's at. It's got a Harry Potter strip club? No? No, you're not down? Would you go?
I mean, I would go. Yeah.
I would go. Harry Potter.
I'd have to go at least once.
Hermione. What's that class she was teaching? Magical Beasts? What'd you say, Mudbloods?
I've only seen it once.
Filthy muggles. Now you can leave all the hairs attached, all the strings attached, or you can cut them as you go. That's up to you, however you want to do it. You can also, as you're working, skip every other one. Kinds of make it a little more uniform. I also see guys take and they'll put a pencil down between each pal, so it makes it loop up a little bit, which makes it easier to lace it. I would think it would make your equipment a little looser, but you don't seem to notice it when they're like that. So it's just personal preference. I mean, whatever you want to do. This is pretty time consuming. But it's also easy. Easy. You know that song? You don't know it, do you?
No clue.
Did they have NWA when you were a kid?
I'm assuming.
Are you aware there was a rapper called Eazy-E?
Yeah, I know Easy.
Yeah, you know Ice Cube gave him AIDS?
Ice Cube gave him AIDS.
So that's actually one of the theories, yeah. Eazy-E's kid, I'm pretty sure Eazy-E's kid said Ice Cube gave him AIDS. I thought it was Ice Cube. Poked him with a little needle. Now this one I'm going from the top down, whereas this one, if I go from here down, it's going to kind of push this and shift it. So I want to kind of go from the edge in, not from the center out. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it does for you. And if you're right hand or left hand, you'll find there's always one side that's a little easier to work to. And I've got this big light mounted here, which is definitely always in my way. So I don't want to shift this work a lot, so I'm going to line it up to the edge and I'm going to needle strike a little more than center in. And then I'm going to come back and make my tack. Now it's in place, and now I can sew into it as much as I need to or want to without it really shifting that. You might find if you start on the edge and move, or start on the top and move, it shifts this down, and you might end up with webbing hanging over the edge, which I do not want. I want them to look uniform and in place. And I'm just kind of holding it. I push it up against my thumb and the edge of the foam in there. So tack in there in the middle, a couple stitches, run back. That'll get it in place. And it doesn't mash the foam out of there or anything because you started in the center. So if that doesn't make sense to you when you start doing this the first time, it'll quickly make sense once you feel it.
Feel me?
Huh?
You feel who?
Feel me? It's like engagement, right? When you start working out, bodybuilding, weightlifting, training, whatever, you'll go into the gym as the first time in there, or as a young guy or whatever, and you'll do curls. But when you really understand the engagement of the bicep, it's a very different movement, and you can achieve the same thing with a lot less weight. Would you agree with that? as the professional bodybuilder that you are.
I completely agree.
Brando Calrissian. That's your Star Wars name, isn't it?
Oh wow, I've never seen Star Wars.
Lando Calrissian, the black dude
Don't know.
from The Empire Strikes Back.
Don't know.
The Tauntaun
Don't know.
that Luke crawled inside of.
Don't know.
But you do know what a Tauntaun is,
Yeah.
right? You're aware that that's what that is up
Yeah.
there.
I have a basic knowledge of it.
You should work that into the B-roll.
Tauntaun?
Yeah. It is pretty impressive.
Is it the one hanging by the bathroom?
Yeah.
Where'd you get it?
From Planet Hoth. The ice planet. They have a gift shop there. I'm not even a Star Wars nerd. I actually tried watching Star Wars much later in life and could not do it. I tried watching it with the kids. It was not working for me. You're more of a SpongeBob kind of guy.
I don't think you've ever seen SpongeBob.
I hate SpongeBob. I said you.
Oh. I did grow up watching it a little
Or
bit.
Squidbillies or something.
Squidbillies for sure.
Fucking ridiculous.
I love Squidbillies.
No, nobody loves Squidbillies. That's like fucking your own sister.
Hey.
Are you like, good thing I don't have a sister.
Yeah.
Do you have it? You have a sister, don't you?
Well, I have 3 half-sisters. Or stepsisters.
And that's why our videos aren't monetized. Which is a trip.
Well, they partially monetize.
If we were in support of the current administration and had a channel called Banging Your Sister, we'd probably make a lot. Maybe we should start that channel.
Yeah.
Just
Post
interview
everything on that.
interview brothers and sisters that
Bang each other.
from West Virginia. If you were going to move out of Tennessee, what state would you want to go to?
I like Vermont and Massachusetts.
I feel like those aren't very good states. Maybe they are.
I don't know. I like Salem.
You like
when I
the
visited.
you like that those big trees in the fall and
Yeah.
shit.
And I like the cold.
I would like to go to Salem. Would you like to go to Salem?
I went.
I think it'd be badass there.
8
And
years
like
ago.
how? Oh, you went?
Yeah, we're gonna go Halloween this year.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it'd be badass at Halloween.
Yeah, so we're gonna go this year for a week on Halloween. Unless it's insanely packed.
Oh, it's always
Yeah,
insanely packed.
When I went, there was nobody there.
But you didn't go on Halloween.
No, I mean I went in the fall though.
There's some good antique areas up there.
Yeah.
Like really good. I want to say Brimfield's up there. Brimfield has a whole, they like when they do their antique and flea market stuff, they open up all these fields, these farmer fields, right? So you have acres and acres and acres. And one of the fields is known to be like exotic like oddities and stuff.
It's like outside flea market though, kind of deal.
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
products.
Yeah, Round Top, Texas is another one like that. But it'd take you 2 weeks, 3 weeks to see all of Round Top. That I just pushed off of there. That foam was, this was skinnier right here for some reason. Jeff won't know. This is, we're building Jeff's. He won't know. Who's the YouTuber that always wears the khaki shorts and has a ridiculously big ass?
I don't know.
I feel like he's a Gun Channel guy. He looks kind of like Brandon Herrera, but that's not
he's got the
him.
mustache.
Yeah,
I don't know.
and has like an abnormally large ass.
Yeah, but I don't think, I think it's fake. I think
Yeah, I think it's fake too.
he's got like a padded thing
Yeah.
he wears. But I know he's exceptionally good at everything. He can like skateboard. He jumped that like
Yeah.
Lamborghini on a dirt bike or whatever, a Porsche.
Well, at least that's what you saw in that video. You didn't see him crash or how many times. You see Rob's building a track?
I saw that.
Good for him, man. That's
really
fucking
good.
cool. I like that they broke the side-by-sides back out.
Tough time we got yours going again.
Yeah, I need to. It needs some freshening up. So even with all that, my foam stretched a little, so we're gonna we'll send a lucky winner these 3 little end cuts. You carry them around in your pimp pocket. Still not quite enough, but we'll take another little hair off of there. Always look underneath there. You'll end up cutting that quarter and there's no fixing that. So we're going to go ahead and close this end up. Can't really see if I'm on top of both of them. I need light on both sides. I don't have it out here. So we'll seam that. We're going to take our favorite little screwdriver and we're going to push this corner here in. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't have good light right here. And you want to do it so that they're even on both sides. So that it doesn't have to be, that it doesn't have any function. And then I'm just going to go ahead and flip it. Look at the other side and we're good, we're all even. Come on past, and we're gonna pop this corner here in. Try to make them pretty close to even, which we now are. Go ahead and get them whiskers while we're here. heard the vacuum, but then it got super quiet. But I see Sky still there. Sky. Speaking of Sky, did you see Skywalker's comment?
Mm-mm.
Do you know who Skywalker is?
Nope.
Mark Hamill, who played Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. His brother went to my high school. Came out with a little tirade about how they messed up and should have killed Trump, and they had a chance and they wasted it. And then he deleted his comment and made a very different comment.
When are people going to start realizing that you can't just delete stuff?
Yeah, the internet's forever, guys.
Everybody's screenshotting
The
constantly.
internet
Something's crazy.
is forever. I'm of the belief that shit that was perfectly legal will be illegal in the future, and they'll come back after you for it. I heard something pretty interesting the other day about somebody really famous. I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about him, and they said that he got his girlfriend pregnant when she was 13, and she had their first child. But the question is, what is their age gap? So was he?
Who was it?
I don't remember who it was.
I know
thought
Elvis, didn't he?
I really thought it's this new vice president. I think that's who they're talking about. And was he 25 when he got her pregnant? Because that'd be completely illegal today.
'Cause I know Elvis, wasn't his wife 14 when he started dating her?
How old was he?
He was in his 20s.
What's up, man?
And Anthony Kiedis from Red Hot Chili Peppers is dating an 18-year-old, and he is 65.
There's a difference there, though. I mean, that's legal consent.
But he got in trouble for having sex, or in his biography, he wrote about having sex with a 16-year-old when he was, I don't know how old. So that's why everybody was like, wait a second.
Different times, man.
Bobbin
Fucking,
run out?
huh?
Bobbin run out?
Yeah. Did you hear it?
No.
Yeah, it'll have an audible sound. You
No,
can
the
usually hear
sound
it.
that wasn't attached.
I can feel it too. Like if I have loud music on, I can usually tell. I'm just building another one of these for Jeff.
I loaded that one up to see how heavy it was.
How heavy is it?
About 25.
With just bullets or with water?
Waterproof.
We tried a 100 round AK drum in it. They don't fit.
I really thought they would.
I wasn't sure. Dean brought one in, wanted to know. I guess he's an AK guy.
Yes. Found that out over the weekend.
Can he shoot?
That I don't know.
Did you see Brandon up on that 510 next to Overton? And he had his shirt off, and Overton's brass was spraying him.
And he's going,
Yeah, lighting him up. Now we'll just come back and backfill all these. You can travel across if you want to. I don't want to. Yeah, through the foam. And your first stitch line through there is it's gonna be spongy and popped up and not real tight stitches, but your second line is gonna really crush it down, and your third, fourth, fifth line is gonna lock over all of that. And then this machine, you need to really lift the foot, because if I don't, it's gonna shift that webbing on top. So you can use your lift here, or you can use your knee lift. You could totally leave these on here. It's just attention to detail, but it won't affect the function of it at all if you didn't cut all those little threads. Ooh, off the edge.
Those like tacking machines not work for something like that with a foam?
A tacking machine.
Like, is there not
Like
a
a-
machine that actually just runs, like if you put pals down, it just...
Sure, yeah, bar tacker, yeah. Programmable tacker, yeah, it would. It would actually be good for this.
It's just flat and kind of the same.
Mm-hmm. Start in the center and it'll go. Yeah, it does all that. Most guys watching this video won't have one of those machines though.
How many of these have you made so far?
I think this is number 8. Now you could take this belt, tie it in with the padded suspender set, and have a pretty good load-bearing set that would bear a lot of weight pretty comfortably. Or you could take this belt. I knew I forgot something. I forgot to put the Velcro on the inside of this, and then run it with an underbelt and just run it as kind of a range belt setup. But Jeff's never going to wear it that way, so this won't matter. At least he's definitely not going to wear this one that way. We'll really probably sell this as 2 different products.
What would those be?
One will be this belt with a liner belt, so you just slap this around and you're just going to run this belt with all your shit on it. And then we'll do it as this belt with the suspender set. And then we'll probably sell the suspenders separately, which you can use on any belt. Did I say 2 or 3 products? I said, yeah, so actually it'll be 3.
When you're doing a piece this big, like with this much of the same thing, do you get bored and just start doing it different like that? Like, okay, I'm gonna.
It's exactly what just happened.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot I forgot and shifted. But you'll see that happen a lot too. Like when you see people, we've seen it on the snap machine before, right? We'll have a sample right on the wall, which side the snaps need to go on. But the dude doing it will skip one, and then all of a sudden they'll all be wrong. Like this right here is wrong right here. See, remember I told you when I was making my pals, see how this is 1 inch, but this is 1.5 inches? I knew I was off someplace. I didn't know why or where, but there it is right there. It'll still function. It'll still work. Nobody will know. Except you guys. You guys will know.
Going for Jeff.
Well, he's left-handed. You won't be able to tell anyways.
Yeah. It's a bad center of balance.
Is this a right-hand belt or a left-hand belt? All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 columns of pals. So 12 times 3, you could put 36 rifle mags on this thing if you wanted to do that. Actually, now that I think about it, this is a 32. It's going to be too small for Jeff. might be getting a giveaway. I started making these tabs longer so you can grab them easier with gloves on or whatever, but also you can put Velcro one wrap through there to roll them up and dominate it. Keep them out of the way from flopping around. That's right over my belt right there, so that's exactly how that would sit. And then we can take and run whatever. I've thought about putting slotted webbing in the middle here for a couple of these just so you could run Velcro and kind of lock it in place should you want to. But I mean, you're not going to have that there anyways if you actually utilize these front slots. So you would just take that tail and wrap it or whatever. But there it is. Not as loud as I thought it would be. Move back. Still not quite as loud. It's a lot louder out there when I do it. I guess just too much volume in here. But there it is.
Much higher ceiling.
Huh?
Much higher ceiling.
Yeah. It's very nice. It's the nicest. All right, so this is that belt. Obviously, this is a different one than we just sewed. Same belt. Padded suspender set we mentioned. Rallyman mag pouch with pistols gives him 3 M4 mags. Pistols here, pistols here. These are Rallymans without pistols. So he's got 12 rifle mags here, 4 pistol mags. Turn here to the side. This is the 1-quart pouch. This 1-quart pouch will hold 4 mags. It'll hold those 60 round P mags also. This will hold your 1-quart canteen with your cup. And then we put pockets outboard here, so these will hold some chow bars. You can put some power bars, Cliff bars, whatever. This is the butt pack right here. It clips into the suspender system on the back. This is the same back panel that is on our LBVs. Now we can set this up to run without this should you not want to run that back panel for some reason. This is just our standard butt pack, and then it's just mirrored on the opposite side. So that's how that's set up. He still has columns of pals. This one's actually shifted one over. He could put 2 more Rallyman mag pouches on here, which would give him 6 more magazines.